Mhm.
A small boy who saw dreams to win big in his life, and how did he achieve those? What were those blockers for him in the journey, and how did he overcome those? Let's find it out in this episode of the Real Impulse Show. Hello and welcome to an interview episode of the Real Impulse Show. Today I am really happy to invite Dr. Mobi as a guest on my show. Before we begin, I give a very brief introduction of him. So, he's a certified sleep specialist, he's a practicing physician, he is an author of a well known book, Simple Diet, Sleep, and Exercise, which is available in Amazon in not one but three languages. The TV show's host. He is also a TV show host and he's also a podcaster. He has been also recognized as one of the top 60 hosts on the planet as per the Hollywood News in 2020. He's a Telly Award winner in the year 2021. He has also been a TEDx speaker and whatnot. So this can go on and it can go till the time I wish to introduce him. So I would like to now introduce, without any further ado, firstly, welcome Dr. Mobi. Thanks for finding out time and joining us today on the Real Impulse Show. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's been fun always to connect across the globe, But I go by in media Dr. Mobi, and I do sleep medicine here in US for last 25 years. Been here, and also I have a passion for changing lifestyle, especially for people. So that's where my journey is about. My book, Keep It Simple, Diet, Sleep, Exercise, and we want to make sure people understand, that the health is most important thing. So, and we are working hard to get that awareness for everyone.
Indeed, that's actually the real uh, area that we all need to work on. That's a very good initiative and thoughts that you have. If I would like to just start with asking you a few questions. So, the first that I have
Sure.
in mind is, how were you as a kid, and what was that one tough time, or what were those few tough times that you had, and how did you overcome over them?
Okay, I think, yeah, that's a good question. As we all know that, when we are kids, our parents actually put that in our mind to work hard. And as you're well aware, especially parents from our side of the world, they want you to be focused on education, right? So they don't
Yes.
want you to be focused doing things other than education. So I wasn't really into a lot of extracurricular activities, which, right now in US, actually, we have kids doing everything. They play, they do 10 other things, and they also study. Now, when I was growing up, we were more focused just on studying, studying, studying. And it's not that they made me study, it's just I had a passion. My parents say I was reading books even when very little. I was just, I loved books, and just, they never had to tell me to go to school a lot in terms of remain focused, because I was kind of, I loved school. So you're asking about what was the difficult? I think the only difficult time I had was my health. I wasn't a very healthy kid. So in terms of, I was underweight and sick all the time. So that was the only thing. But I think somehow I made through, survived all those challenges, and you know, so as you know, their healthcare, especially for kids, it's very in bad shape in our side of the world, right? If you look at those numbers for kids, their health is really low. The mortality, the perinatal, the growing up, the numbers. I think our population is huge, as you know. So, but I think the healthcare is really dismal there. The immunization, the campaign is very weak, as we all know. then we have also weakness for other 10 other things. So those are definitely making a difference in somebody who is uh, really struggling, especially with those age group. Yeah.
Health is what was a little hurdle for you, and then over time uh, you had good opportunities that helped you to uh, get out of it. And definitely I understand that now that you're in such a wonderful career that is also to do with health. So I really understand that, though it would have been a tough time,
Yeah.
it would have been also a very satisfying end to that concern or the tough time that you had. Apart from that, what was the biggest hurdle that you saw when you started to take this career of your choice, which you are in today?
I think, we all have, over time we evolve, we learn, we kind of, so my journey actually started with my disease. So we all kind of come up with some solution always whenever we are struggling. If we believe in hope, if we have hope, and if we think that we can go through that successfully, we will come up with a solution. So life gives you lemon and you make lemonade. I'm sure you heard of that. Okay. So same thing, I was in good health. I wouldn't say that, maybe I thought I was in good health. So, but I gained weight, and so when I graduated actually from med school, as you know, in our part of the world, they think that physician has to look big, bulky, and right. That's the impression they have. So I was like this in final year, and so they say, "Oh, are you still student? Are you sure? Are you reading correctly?" All those
Yes.
funny things. So I think, so I felt very insecure in terms of the social stigma around it, that okay, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I should gain weight. So I was intentionally eating rice, and so in final year I remember I kind of ate biryani every day, you know, to gain weight. So I gained a lot of weight. Okay. So I thought, as I recall, so I was trying to do all that just so I'm graduating, I should look like doctor, right? So but the problem is then, as I would try to gain more and more, and so want to look like, I graduated, and so I came to US, and then here is a little different, and as you know, here the food quality is totally different in terms of you can really get good quality food if you want. So I kept that pace, and I kept increasing my weight intentionally. Okay. It was not unintentional. So then I was practicing, and then one day I was driving, and all of a sudden my pulse became irregular, and I was gonna lose my consciousness. So I pulled my car over, and then I checked my pulse. I said, well, and I felt really dizzy and so forth. So I got my cardiac checkup and everything. They say heart is fine, but your problem is your there's no blockage in your heart, but you should lose maybe weight. So I said, now over the years, I started actually developing taste of, I always love food. I mean, food I love always anyways. So I basically went for checkup, and they said you should lose. And so I told my wife, I said, it's very hard for me to actually work on the weight, because those are for cows or animals, they eat grass, but I'm not going to do that, because I want to basically eat and enjoy. But then a second thought came to me and said, maybe I should think of, maybe so because I was becoming diabetic, and that's another topic I will like to also put that here. We'll come to that later. But anyways, I got that finally with dietitian I spoke with, and I said, tell me a little bit about what you want to achieve out of that. Give me idea, because she gave me powder diet and she says, why don't you go ahead and eat that? I said, "Oh, I'm not going to do that. This is very hard on me." So anyways, I found that there has to be a solution. There has to be something which I should work on. So anyways, I kept on thinking, and finally I said, okay, I will listen to you. I'll show up every week and I will lose weight, and but I'm not going to take your powder. So okay, so then she said, okay, I'll see what you do. And so I kept on showing up every week, and I lost 1 pound every week. So I lost 100 pounds in 1 year. Okay.
Wow.
So that was, yeah. So it just came to, and I realized, why I was gaining weight. Why did I even took that path, of overeating? So that moment I realized, okay, I'm going to just go backward. Okay. So, and then that day and this day, so 4 years have passed, and I still, I lost all the weight, and also, diabetes gone, headaches gone. So, so then I realized there are a lot of things in my life were there because of food. Okay. You have headaches, horrible headaches, migraine. Okay. And then so all gone because I excluded, roti, chapati, naan, all those rice. So all those are gone. Then we excluded also, sweets. So those are gone. Then your stomach upset is gone. Your sleep issues are gone. Blood pressure is better. So many things. Imagine so many things. Diabetes totally gone. I'm not on medications, and cholesterol is all the way better. So I realized that there probably, in med school and everything, I said, well, probably we've all focused on treating disease, but not on getting rid of them, you know. So maybe we should focus on getting rid of. So that's why my lifestyle journey started. Okay. So at that time, then I said, okay. So it started with book, and I would encourage a lot of people who would read, and they ask questions. So I think I've sold over 4,000 of these books, and then Japan, all over the world. So they said have different languages. So I did that too. But now, I realize a lot of patients ask me, okay, we would like to hear you watch video or kind of get motivated. I say, okay. So I did couple of shows and then, people liked it, and I said, okay, I'm going to start doing more and more. So that's how my journey started with media. Um, Until that now, I've been doing a lot of, so I've done in last year almost 400 shows.
Wow.
So
Wonderful.
yeah, so 400 shows, and then did also TEDx talk. So a lot of so I mean, where do I get this energy? I don't know. I just get this, and I keep going. Like, look, now I met you all the way
Mhm.
around the world, right?
Yes.
Other part of the world, and then we are. And you asked me, and I say, yeah, I will come because I like to help. And I just go with the flow. I just go with the energy, and that's what I am trying to do. So I think people like it, so I thought, okay, we'll keep doing.
Awesome. So that's really inspiring to hear in itself that your story or your journey of your tough time started when you had to actually gain weight. Then it came to a stage when you had to actually lose it. And then you are now at a stage when you want to help everyone have that same level and not go a little higher or on the lower side, just to be, on that right, what we say, scale. And that's really inspiring, and I would definitely encourage all our listeners or viewers to obviously find your book out on Amazon, buy it and go through it, share their reviews with you, get in touch with you, because I am by far really enjoying this session. I am really getting inspired with what your life story has been till now. And what I also want to ask you out of my curiosity is that you started off with your journey when you wanted to gain weight, then a stage came, then you wanted to lose weight just because you want to be fit and fine. So during this entire phase or journey, did that 1 or 2 days, were those 1 or 2 days there in your life when you thought, let's go to some conventional option and not try my hands in some areas where it's taking toll on my health? Did that ever come to you? Wanted to go to some other option, what you're doing apart from that?
Okay, you're asking the time I was overweight or the time I was trying to lose
Overall,
weight?
overall, in the entire
Okay,
journey.
okay. Now, entire journey, when I was overweight, my wife would say, you're overweight, and now she was always fit. She's always very disciplined and everything. But she would tell me, don't do this, don't overeat, and don't do this. But I said, no, no, you don't understand. Because I had that in my mind that just I should be looking certain way. I think its problem is how we think. It's not stomach; it is up in the brain. You know, so if we think that we have to look certain way and we feel comfortable, or we have stress going on, and the only way to deal with stress is overeating. That is also a problem with thinking, right?
Yes.
And then a lot of people, a lot of my patients, when they get stressed, they the one way of they say, oh, where is the candy, where is this jalebi, where is this gulab jamun, let's have more, right? So, and they feel good. The reason is because those sugar actually cause stimulation of your reward center, and then you feel happy, and that is true science. There's nothing wrong with that. Problem is, then you gain weight too, because you are adding calories, and then there's no way your body can process. Yes, when I was doing that, there was time. So my wife and I thought, I tried to lose weight many times. I'll be honest. So I thought even I'll go to some kind of gym. I had actually hired a personal trainer one time too, and I did 1 month. I didn't lose any weight and nothing. And actually, my personal trainer died. That was interesting. And I told, so he was older gentleman, but he died. But I did not lose any weight at all. It was struggle. It was, and I thought maybe I should just go to some camp and just get admission and lose weight. And we all struggle. We all struggle. But for some reason, when I got that dizzy spell, it, frankly speaking, I saw the really a dark tunnel. I just for 1 second I was in a really dark, deep tunnel, and there was no light at that. So, and then I came back, and then to me, I said, "Oh my God, it is real." That probably is my end. So then when you see that, then you realize, okay, this is for real. Now I really have to think of. So I think till that time I was not able to understand, that I have to lose weight. Now once it got in my mind that I have to do it, and the way some reason your brain works very well if you understand clearly direction. So if you know, and everybody who's listening, I would say, make up your mind and be disciplined. Your mind will work its way towards that. Don't worry about the final journey. Worry about few baby steps. You worry about that you are going to maintain that, you are going to keep doing it again and again and again. Yes, 1 year is a long time. It took. So if somebody asked me to lose weight in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, no, there was nothing like that. My only goal was slow and steady, slow and steady. Every week I had to do my homework. Every week, and there were times I was sad, I was depressed, and I would feel that, and I did not achieve 1 pound every week. There were times when we had quarter pound weight loss. Okay, but yeah, those are the real time, But then I kind of figured out way, as long as you believe that you will be able to Your mind is beautiful thing, so it can figure out everything for you. But you have faith, have hope, and then you will do well. And those are always true, no matter which part. And now a lot of people, now I'm not young, like here I'm 50-year-old. Okay, now a lot of people will say, okay, at 50 or your age, your body to lose a few pounds is very hard, right?
Yes, it
So,
is.
and when you're young, you can do. Now, a lot of people, when I talk to about weight or any other issues, they say, Doc, I have joined a gym and I am bought treadmill or I have gym. I'm doing. I said, who told you to do exercise? Because I went through that. That I hired personal trainer. I did this, and did I lose weight? No. Did I spend a lot of money on treadmills and ellipticals and everything? Absolutely, like all of us do. Okay. So my only suggestion is do not spend a lot of money. There is nothing written that you have to spend this money or buy this equipment. It you can lose all. I lost all this weight by spending only $10. Okay, so that's I take any supplements? Not really, except just some vitamin later on. But those are very cheap. You don't have to have those expensive. So my advice is do not spend money. Yeah. Now there's also way. There are always solutions which are expensive.
True,
Because there is more than one way of doing things, which is
true.
great, but not every way is cheaper or efficient or smart way. you know I'm sure you have seen the program MacGyver, right? You have seen the TV show MacGyver.
No, not really.
Okay. Okay, so MacGyver is a English show. If you ever watch it, it's really good. So whenever he gets into trouble, he finds a very simple things in that situation to find a way out. He
Okay.
doesn't have the big guns or anything. He just finds a simple solution to open a lock or do things to get out. So like you can open a lock with a pin, right? But you don't have to break the door. So those are the solutions I'm interested in. So this is my solution is same thing. It's very simple, smart way of understanding what your body is doing, and so you need to focus on what you eat. So whoever tells you eat this or eat so much and this is good fat and this, and there is nothing, this is all marketing gimmick. If you look at now food market, what they don't want you to be gone forever. They want you to keep eating. Okay, so they came up with these different taglines. They will say, oh, low glycemic index rice, low glycemic or this, and low sugar this. Now it was funny, and you eat mangoes, and I love mangoes. They came up with a low sugar mango. What kind of no- but they want you to eat mangoes, pretty much. So this you have to understand this. So the food industry always wants you to be their customer. Okay,
True,
because nobody will buy their food. Okay, so they come up with these different names for it. So just understand, do not do your harm. So don't do what I did, gain weight to please others. Do not do that. Okay, you don't have to do that, because you will get sick, you will become diabetic, or you will have heart disease, and then if you get sick, there is nothing uh, more precious than your health. That's my always clear message to everyone.
true. So, like as you said that there are different ways of doing it, and obviously choosing the most economic way at times helps you, and even I agree to that. Like just running behind an expensive option might not be an option that gives you results. So definitely agree to that. So another question that I have for you is like, you are definitely a source of inspiration for many. But who has been your source of inspiration?
Okay, yeah, my that is a very good question. My source of inspiration are common people. My source of inspiration are everyday's heroes every day. So when we had COVID, and I'm a physician. I was working tirelessly, long hours and all that. And I was walking through the hospital, and I felt very tired and exhausted. And I thought, maybe why we are doing all this? And you know, is there an end to it? So I walked by through the hallway, and I asked this uh, lady. She was cleaning, and I say, "How are you doing?" And she says, "I'm doing well, doctor. Thank you for asking." I say, "Okay, how's it going for you?" And it must be stressful and all that. She said, "Yes, doctor, but I have to feed my family, and this is my second job, and I'm just working hard. And I finished one job and then came here, and now it's midnight, and I'm working here." And I felt so embarrassed. I said, "And you're working tirelessly, and you have energy." And I said, "She doesn't get paid as much as I get paid here, right? Rounding. So I said, but look at her spirit, look at her, you know. So she is such a strong person. She really motivated me to. So I just, for 1 second, all my fatigue, everything gone, after listening to her. So I said, yes, they are the real heroes. We just follow. I just get inspiration from common people. My only thing is I always listen to them. That's the only thing I will say. I always value them in terms of what they're saying. I don't look at that, I am authority and then I have reached. And no, I don't do that. I want to see what they are, how they're doing and how they're feeling. So for me, that's how I actually reinvent every few months or every, because my songs, my book, everything is inspired by common people and everyday stories.
That's really good to know because when I ask this question to anyone, so they obviously have one name who they want to talk about, and most of us really know that name somewhere or the other. But this is the first time I've heard that real inspiration is coming from very all of us, like every one of us around. So, like, again, I have no words for that. So that brings us towards the end of this discussion here, Dr. Mobi. I am really happy that I had this chance to interview you on this show today, and I really look forward to have another round of interaction. With this, I would like to say thanks to all the listeners who stayed with us till now, to all the viewers on YouTube who have stayed with us till now, towards till the end of the session. And if you really like the way it was conducted and how it was there, please follow Dr. Mobi, read his book that he has published, and obviously the inspiration will always be there with you. Thanks for listening to the Real Impulse Show.